more. Hey everybody, welcome to the Kris Avalon Show. I am here, I am queer, I'm not going anywhere. I know it's the summertime and everybody's all doing whatever they're doing, but you know I can't shut the fuck up about nothing. So for the next 2 hours, I'm going to be here giving you the best in celebrity news and all the things you may have missed throughout the week, including a lot of LGBT stuff that's been happening. So that's why I'm here. So everybody who's watching and got your eyeballs glued to Facebook Live and or listening live on alldigitalradio.com. Hi, hello, welcome. Love you all. Before we get to any of the topics, the first thing I want to do, because, you know, the first story out the gate I'm going to get to is this debacle that happened on The View. What was it, like 2 days ago? I was going to do a YouTube video or whatever, but I was like, I'll just save it for the Kris Avalon Show, because I did give like a good juicy bit of tea when I did like my other YouTube videos, which was about Stevie J surprisingly marrying Faith Evans and all that other stuff that was coming out. And yeah, and of course, in honor of Comic-Con, I'm wearing my Wonder Woman shirt. I have a bunch of other shirts that I'm going to be wearing that represents like comics and all other stuff that I guess I'll probably be getting to also, because, you know, this is Comic-Con weekend, and everybody who's out in San Diego getting to see all the panels and all the trailers, and so many things have been coming out. But one of the things I want to get to is, I want to give my condolences to someone who's been a staple within the comic book industry, or has been a staple within just a lot of industry in regards to like comic books and comic book movies and writing comics. And he was a staple over at AMC Movie Talk before they merged into Collider Movie Talk. And who I'm talking about is the one and only Jon Schnepp, who passed away, I believe, officially yesterday at the age of 51. What had happened was, because, you know, they've been very vague about what was going on, he had, I believe, a massive heart attack and wound up on life support. He was, in critical condition and that sort of thing. And then even though in my gut, I was like, you know, trying to give my best wishes and all other stuff, I just knew that there was going to be a hard decision where they were just going to have to pull the plug and that sort of thing. So, my condolences to him, and he's just been an inspiration to a lot of people, such as myself, who have jumped into being a staple in the blogging industry, the vlogging industry, of people who are just a fan of movies and TV and comic books as a whole. So, I loved him when he stepped in to kind of do a lot of the Collider Movie Talk stuff, and then he eventually went on to just do Heroes full time before this tragedy struck. And the worst part of it is that he didn't have the opportunities to go to be at Comic-Con with the fans and really talking about a lot of stuff that was going on. So he's going to be somebody who's just sorely missed in the world of comics and in this industry, as someone who just had a passion for film and a passion for comics. And there's not a lot of people who have that passion or exude it or show. Like, I've heard so many stories of everybody's like, oh, he's such a nice guy and that sort of thing. And I really would have wished I would have had the opportunity to meet him, but it's just seeing how he was on Collider, and also how he was just a type of guy who had his beliefs and stuck with it. And you don't see many people who are like that. Like, you get a lot of people who, you know, will have their beliefs, and then if you get around enough people, what they'll do is they'll fold or they'll change their mind. He was somebody who was just wholeheartedly stuck by his beliefs, and I like people like that. Like, just stick by, whether I agree with you or not. If you believe wholeheartedly in something and you stick by it, I'll debate you till the wheels fall off of that shit. But I like the fact that you stick to your convictions and we can agree to disagree, and we move on from that. So kudos to him. So now, while we move on from that, and everybody is out doing their thing with, hey, Terrence, and you and your shady ass. You know, I live for your ass when you be on social media throwing that shade. That's why I be laughing at you. You're shady as fuck, but I live for it. But anyway, one of the things I want to get to is this topic of what had happened at The View. And Jeanine Pirro was on there. So I hadn't watched the episode yet, but all of a sudden, after the whole situation with The View had happened, all of a sudden, like 12 o'clock came and my phone started blowing up with a whole lot of stuff in regards of, she let her have it. I'm like, what the fuck is everybody talking about? Like, I had no idea what the hell was going on. I was like, oh Lord, I hope nobody finally I was like, damn, did Whoopi finally light Megan's ass up? Or as I keep saying, nutmeg. I don't know why I keep forgetting to call her ass nutmeg because the bitch is crazy. But anyway, so I thought maybe that was, I said, oh no, come on. Now I know Whoopi usually has it together on the show in a lot of situations, but I know she didn't go in on her. Then I saw that bitch that looked like the old white woman, the one that had way too much tanner on and there's something about Mary. That's who I be thinking Jeanine Pirro is. I can't stand her ugly ass. First of all, her lips look like she been sucking on a baboon's ass. Second, she looked like somebody had lit like a beef jerky that been under the lighter too long. That's what she looked like. She basically just looked like a overcooked beef jerky with a lot of fucking hair. That's what this bitch looked like. So then she went on the show, and what I found funny was like when I was on like sites like TMZ, which I feel are so Trump leaning, and a lot of stuff that they write on there, and a lot of the people that watch that respond to a lot of the TMZ shit, I feel like a lot of them are Trump voters. I watch a lot, like if you ever read the New York Post, which is, if you're from New York, is a tabloid, pretty much a tabloid newspaper. It's not even a valid newspaper. Yeah, way too much goddamn hairspray from her hair. But anyway, so to me, like when they started, I noticed like they started using certain buzzwords. You know how like Trump will call you a crooked Hillary or stuff like that? They started using certain words I noticed in their titles too. So I've been busy for the past, and I don't know why these motherfuckers take me, but I've realized I like pissing off Trump supporters. Like I really get off on arguing with them on social media because they're all stupid. They really are. They're all dumb. They don't know what they're talking about half the time. I sit there and say, well, okay, so if you believe this wholeheartedly, where are your receipts? Like, can you at least bring me some of this shit that you claim? Oh, well, Obama did this. One motherfucker had the nerve to blame Obama for 9/11. Now, can we talk about the fact that he wasn't even president at the time? George W. Bush was the president at the time. We invaded the wrong country. And Saudi Arabia, the terrorists were Saudi Arabian. They weren't even from Iraq. Now, meanwhile, the reason why they didn't go at Saudi Arabia, I don't want to get into politics. That's a show before mine. But apparently DJ's on vacation for the next 3 weeks. So I guess maybe I'll be sliding in some politics every now and again. Shout out to him. But Saudi Arabia, the terrorists were Saudi Arabian. And that had nothing to do with 9/11. First of all, if you don't even live in New York, don't even speak on that shit. I was on my way to work when 9/11 happened. And I was like in high school when 9/11 happened in the 90s. So, wait, it wasn't even 9/11 in the 90s. It was 2001. What the hell am I talking about? But anyway, I was like, damn, I got my timelines all fucked up. I was like, wait a minute, 9/11 happened in 2001. I was sitting there talking about fucking, like it was in the 90s and shit. My math, forgive me, that was one of the things I was never good at in school. I fucking hated math. But anyway, I can count my money, but don't ask me to do nothing else with numbers. We're dealing with all of that shit, and then like going on my way to work, and my boss called me and talking about, well, can you come to work? And I'm like, 9/11 just happened. The Twin Towers just got hit by 2 planes, and they done shut down the subway. How do you expect me to get into the city? My manager was not the brightest, but whatever. And I worked in a hospital at the time. So wait a minute. I was y'all having full on conversations on. Wait. Let me stop reading the comments on Facebook and just focus on this. But anyway, so Jeanine went on The View, and the thing that I already knew the bitch was on ready. First of all, she came out smug from the fucking beginning. Like when she had that shit-eating grin, like she was literally there to start some shit when I was watching her on the show. And for people to not sit and see that, you know who she reminded me of? She reminds me of Pamela Voorhees. Now, if you don't know who that is, that's Jason's mother from the Friday the 13th franchise. That's who Jeanine Pirro reminds me of. Like, I was just waiting at one point for Whoopi Goldberg to pick up a goddamn axe and chop the bitch's head off. That's what I was waiting on. And then they had him hairy knuckles. Now, if you've seen that, you know it was a man that stepped in. Okay, let me just keep on track and stop giving you tidbits from the behind the scenes of Friday the 13th. But anyway, So the funny thing was, I was looking forward to coming here, and I was so mad because Whoopi Goldberg started revealing behind the scenes tea, because I knew what had happened behind the scenes on The View before she revealed it yesterday on the show, which was that Jeanine basically went and cursed out members of the staff, the producers, security, the co-host. First of all, she was also pissed because she didn't want Anna Navarro there. She was pissed because Joy wasn't there, because, a lot of them, for some reason, Jeanine is so far up Trump's ass that I think she was there to try to stir the pot with Joy. She wanted to start shit with Joy, and Joy wasn't there, and she got pissed. So with Anna being there, because Anna is the queen of clapbacks, like she got time when she was gonna come for her. She wasn't ready for that bitch. So with Anna sitting there, and Anna is a Republican, but a Republican with sense. See, the thing with the media is, like, I don't mind Republicans. I like Republicans. I'm with y'all in all other stuff in a lot of ways. I don't agree with y'all in a lot of your politics, but I could sit and have a conversation and debate with y'all. But the fact of the matter was, you have these psychotic, radical people. I don't even think you can even call Jeanine. First of all, can somebody tell me why her show was canceled? Because that's why I remember where she was from. She had the Judge Jeanine Pirro show, and I did like when I watched her every now and again. But the only judge the only person that I feel can judge me is Judy. I live for Judge Judy. Judge Judy is the queen of all queens. I live for that fucking woman, and that's that. She's the only judge. Oh, and Marilyn Million. I live for Marilyn Million too. Judge Mathis can go suck 1,000 dicks. But overall, I like Marilyn Million and Judge Judy. Those are the only two judges that I live for. But other than that, Jeanine Pirro ain't had a show on TV in years, but went to Fox News because they'll give anybody a fucking job over there. As long as you got a loud mouth and you sound stupid as fuck, they'll give you a show. Just ask Sean Hannity. But one of the things and then also what people seem to forget. See, this is another reason why she aligned herself with 45. Jeanine Pirro's husband went to prison for embezzlement. See, a lot of people seem to have forgotten about that too. So when your husband's gone to prison for embezzlement and was disbarred, had his license revoked for 3 years. I don't know if he got it back, but they suspended his license for 3 years. I don't think he's practicing law anymore. But she loves to throw out the fact that she's a judge and all that other crap. It is whatever. It is what it is. But I don't know. To me, she has no credibility. So what had happened was, because I don't want to stay on this damn topic forever, I just keep going on and on because I got to throw the reads in between the commentary. That's just how I roll. But anyway, so she was pissed that Anna Navarro was there instead of Joy. I noticed Nutmeg was quiet as a church mouse when she was on the show, which I was like, you know what, bitch, keep quiet on this. Like, don't stick your foot in this. This is the one time they ain't gonna cuss your ass out for being a dumb Republican or a dumb conservative on this show. Keep quiet. Just let this bitch get roasted and keep it going. She referred to members of the staff as cocksuckers. She went on, and she also went on Fox News, and I knew she was going to do this shit. She went on Fox News and played the victim, which we all know is what she does. And this is what a lot of the Trump cultists do. I'm not even calling them Trump supporters anymore. I feel like the hardcore people that just follow Trump no matter what he says, like when y'all drink that Jim Jones Kool-Aid regardless, I always call them the Trump cultists, because that's what it is. They're pretty much in a cult. They eat his doo-doo whenever the chance they got. Like, I literally think they all reenact, like every year they all meet up and reenact scenes from the Human Centipede when they talk about Donald Trump. Bitch, where'd you go? So she referred to people on stage as cocksuckers, which sounds about right, because where's she from? Long Island, New Jersey? Like, people that have a mouth as wide as Jeanine's, that would be the word that would come out of your mouth. So she said that she walked out like a dog was just kicked off and said she had been treated horrifically. I have a YouTube blog. Where you been? Since there's people watching, he said... He said, I need a YouTube blog. Okay, so here's the thing. So while I have people online, I know that I have been building up my YouTube fan base lately. Okay, roll the clip, and we'll talk about what had happened. Okay, well, I got that playing. And I had to, yeah, she was treated accordingly. She was treated the way she would deserve. But really quick, look me up, Kris Avalon on YouTube. I have a YouTube channel. I'll even post a link and all other stuff. But I post a lot of my YouTube videos because I'm playing the view clip in the headset. That's why I'm talking now. But anyway, well, thank you. I have a Tumblr too. I have everything. I have a Tumblr, I have a Snapchat, I have YouTube, I have Instagram, Facebook, Periscope. Well, I don't have Periscope. I did Periscope. Oops, shit. Hold on. Hi, we're back. I was like rambling on at the child. I got a chatterbait too, but I just said that. But anyway, so I say all this to say, like, you know what? Jeanine got what she deserved. I have Xtube too. Well, it just sits there. I don't even use it. There was like once upon a time I just had one. I got that too. Pornhub, I'm everywhere. But no, I don't post like videos and stuff. I just have like the sites and follow and just add videos and all the other stuff. But no, I don't even know if I could do like videos and stuff online. It's like these children try to come for my ass when the whole fame thing comes. But even if that happened, I'd probably be like, you know what, it happened. It is what. Thank you. He called me a whore. I feel so flattered. but anyway, so I say all this to say, you know what? Jeanine got what she deserved. And my thing is this. If you're going to come out and you're going to spew rhetoric and you're going to be a liar and you're going to say all the type of shit that you're going to see on TV and call liberals liars and all this other stuff that you're saying in your book where you were just basically trying to get whatever it is that you need to get, you need to deal with, you know what? If you're going to dish it out, you got to be able to take it. Y'all sit and you said all this racist, ignorant rhetoric that you said for the past almost 2 years that this man has been in office. And then when people give it back to you, all of a sudden you're saying you try to cower and play victim, which is what bullies do, by the way. Bullies like to sit and pick on you and poke the bear. And I truly believe this. I don't believe in that Michelle Obama bullshit where she said, when they go low, we go high. There comes a certain, because I was having this conversation the other day. I was like, you know what? I remember when I was a kid and I had this, like I was bullied in school because I was little. I was like really short and really skinny or something, but of course when I got older, I sprouted. So I'm like 5'10" right now. But when I was like the littlest one, and then of course we have a high voice and kids are calling you gay and all this other shit. And you live in the hood of Brooklyn, Brownsville to be exact. You got to be able to stand your ground on some points. And I'm so glad I grew up in an era where if you fought after school at 3 o'clock in front of everybody that you got, whether I got my ass beat, which I did a few times, and I beat some motherfuckers up too. Thank God there's no cameras around that caught that, because I feel sorry for the new generation coming up where y'all be getting y'all ass beat and shit. Like I seen like 2 little girls basically holding each other's hands. I'm like, what the fuck y'all doing? What kind of fighting is that? Like, can you at least like look at the bitch when you punching her? Like, some of y'all need to learn how to fight, number one. Like, I'll never understand how y'all hold somebody's head with one hand and swing it with the other doing a fucking windmill. That is not fighting, by the way. But to get back on track, sometimes the way you have to handle bullies, they don't watch the show. I've noticed like also a lot of people who say that, like when I was reading a lot of the comments, especially on the Views Facebook page, there was a lot of people that was saying that, well, you need to, fire Whoopi for her outburst. I'm like, huh? Meanwhile, how much shit do they say over at Fox News? They all still got fucking jobs. But, losing your cool does not require getting fired. Now, if I would have got up and slapped the shit out of you on national television, then I deserve to lose my job. But for me cussing your ass out, or for me losing my temper because you tried me numerous times and I tried to hold my composure and I'm trying to defend myself, like, don't sit and resort to name calling. And what was the word that she used? She said, was it like Trump dementia or some shit like that, where she basically tried to say that she was crazy for opposing Trump. Like, people who are like that, that's the most Joseph Stalin type shit that they really are trying to like bring in. But anyway, I still to say, Jeanine is a psycho. I'm sure people are going to go out and buy her book. Like, she is living for a lot of this attention right now because it's going to get her the #1 book in America for a week, and then we'll move on to something else. So now, speaking of which, let's move on to another topic, which is Roseanne losing her goddamn mind on national television. Well, was it national television or was she just doing a regular interview? Because these days I can't tell. Like, one minute you do an interview, be it YouTube or they do it, like, people are doing interviews everywhere. Like I just said, I was watching, what was I watching? I don't know. I've been watching a lot of stuff. Like, I've been watching a lot of Comic-Con stuff and just a whole bunch of things. But anyway, so she's been bringing up the whole Valerie Jarret thing again, and I don't know what her malfunction is or why she's still talking about it. But she basically just said that she thought the bitch was white, and she started losing her goddamn mind. So I guess roll the clip on that. I was like, wait, Valerie Jarret told about the Iran deal 300 times? Who knew that? She thought the bitch was white. Mm-mm. Oh my God. So apparently my computer is acting up right now, and I'm trying to get it working. One of the things I never really understood is why why a lot of the shows didn't hold ABC's feet to the fire for encouraging the buffoonery of Roseanne. Like I said, I never watched Roseanne. I was not watching that. Well, I watched when I was a kid. I would be in and out of Roseanne. I never really like watched the original sitcom. I have caught reruns over the years, but I never really was a big Roseanne fan. I mean, I liked how, like, when she was all liberal and whatever what she was back in the day. But as far as the Roseanne of now, she was saying all this crazy shit long before the whole, before the whole Valerie Jarret thing. She was saying all this crazy shit long before ABC was like, okay, let's give her a show again. Let's bring Roseanne back because it's controversial, because we can capitalize off the whole Donald Trump supporter thing. So they saw money, they saw ratings, they were cackling and ha-ha and kikiing about those tweets long before, like, at the upfronts, when they were doing the upfronts for what was coming up for the new shows that's coming up in the fall and beyond. So I don't have sympathy for or empathy for ABC. They knew exactly who they were getting in bed with when they got in bed with her. They thought they could tame the beast and realized that they couldn't tame the beast. They realized that Roseanne is a handful, that they can't help, they can't deal with her, and she's got nothing but enablers around her, be it be it ABC or her family. Like, why hasn't any of her kids or her boyfriend, who I'm sure is living on that nut farm in Hawaii, why haven't they stepped in and been like, bitch, take your motherfucking meds. Stop mixing your Ambien with your wine or whatever it is that you're doing, and talk about whatever and deal with whatever issues you're dealing with. Because they said, like, Roseanne's always had mental illness, that she's schizophrenic or she's whatever the case. First of all, why are you putting a schizo on fucking national television to do a sitcom? If you ain't got your mental right, you should not be putting them in front of a camera to do anything. And with the Connors coming, I don't give a shit about that show. I'm still not watching it. I don't care. Like, Darlene need to stay her ass over at the Talk and keep running her mouth with that and eating Linda Perry's pussy. You can just do what you need to do with that. I don't think we need another spinoff. It'll be interesting. I'm sure, out of curiosity, people will watch the show and see what's what, but I personally don't care about Roseanne, the revival, all this other stuff. Speaking of other crazy, so we can move on from that one crazy to another, let's talk about Azealia Banks. So earlier in the week, and I didn't talk about her on the other thing because I had way too much shit that I was talking about on my YouTube videos that I do. Azealia Banks going on Wild 'N Out for season 12, which was currently filming, and throwing a conniption fit because she got roasted on a show where she likes to roast everybody on social media, but when she's in person, see, she can hide behind them avatars and in her phone on social media and talk shit about every celebrity that's a list longer than the people I've actually slept with. For her to go and be like, well, I didn't like the fact that they was talking about me and da-da-da-da-da and so on and so forth. And I done came on in to sing my song and they wanted to call me names and they called me ugly and they made fun of my skin. And this and that. This is the same bitch that was talking about that she's gonna go ride white dick, that she's over, well, she said white niggas, which last time I checked, I didn't even know white people could be niggas. But this is the same bitch that says, you can't afford my intelligence. My intelligence is too expensive. She says a lot of crazy shit. Look, I've always said this old yuck mouth bitch sounds like Kanye with tits, basically. That's what she reminds me of. I like Azealia Banks. I like her music. Oh, my phone is sliding. Let me bring it back up. I like Azealia Banks. I like her music, and I had somebody who was on social media trying to talk about, well, you get so wrapped up in the drama and you should be paying attention. Like, she has a lot of music. I said, well, you wouldn't know it with all the bullshit she's on social media. Like, you ain't got to tell me, someone who works in media, about Azealia damn Banks and her musical catalog. I listened to Azealia Banks. I've been a fan of hers since her 1989 EP. Or was it, it was 1989, 1991. 1989 was Taylor Swift. I'm getting my girls mixed up. But anyway, 1991, that was her EP with the what was it, like 4 or 5 songs she had on there. That's what I was looking for Azealia Banks, because she mixed house music with hip hop, and she was talking about how her music kind of resembled a lot of like the Chicago house that I grew up listening on, and it sounded very gay and this and the other. So that was why I gravitated towards her. But then she started coming out with all this psychotic shit, which made me kind of like slightly fall off. And I was trying to give her chance after chance after chance after chance, but she's been trying me a lot. So basically she went on Instagram after everything that happened and she said, album is canceled. I need some time to relax and bounce back. I'll release new music when I feel like it. So she has released 2 songs, I should say, since then, which was Anna Wintour, which I absolutely love. And I like the video, too, even with them giant underboobs hanging out. And Treasure Island, the latter of those having only come out. It came out on July 6th. And both songs are available on iTunes, by the way. So the Fantasy 2 cancellation comes. She's canceled it after, like I said, the whole Wild 'N Out situation that happened. And she said she was only brought on the show to perform a song, but was roped into a freestyle battle in which she claims to have been hit by a barrage of plea-paying colorist jokes. Here's the thing. Has this broad never watched an episode of Wild 'N Out? Like, the show is basically about you get roasted on the show. That's basically what Wild 'N Out is. It's a roast show. So you can't possibly think you're just going to come on and do a song and not participate in what was going on. If you didn't want to be a part of it, then you shouldn't have came on to the show. But I would say Azealia should just be glad somebody invited her to the show, or to even come on and do whatever she's doing. But then that wasn't all. So Wendy Williams talked about the situation that happened with Azealia Banks and Wild 'N Out and that whole shit. And, of course, Wendy took Nick Cannon's side because, she loves Nick Cannon and that sort of thing. So Azealia Banks watched what had happened, and here's what she said on her Instagram. She was like, oh, my God, OMG, can Wendy Williams have another stroke on TV and finally drop dead? I would love to see her die on air. Yeah, it was deleted. Yeah, she should have thought about it before she posted it, but she didn't because that's Azealia Banks. But also, by you saying that, it just goes to show what type of petty-ass broad that you are. And it's unfortunate that, you know what, the drama outweighs the music. And I'm a realist. Like, my thing is, I like Azealia Banks. I like her music. She does put out a lot of really good songs. But if she would spend some energy on the music and less on the bullshit that comes with it, because she is her own worst enemy, then people would take her seriously. People would listen to her. People would support her and all this other stuff. But Azealia has just she's a mess. And there's no, I just feel like there's no hope for her. Like, I like her. I'll continue to listen to her music on the low. But yeah, she's one of those, like, I gotta be a closet fan. Like, I can't even tell y'all, look, I know I'm revealing it on the air and this and the other. Look, I don't give a fuck. But I'm just saying, like, I'm just got to be a closet Azealia Banks fan. And I ain't seen a closet in like 20-something odd years of me ever being in one. Like, the only place I prefer closets being used for is my clothes. Ain't trying to be up in no, but for this situation, I'm going to have to just be a closet Azealia Banks fan. So I'm going to get into some Me Too stuff and some sexual assault stuff. So the fashion world, you know what? I'm waiting for the music industry to come out with their Me Too stuff. We still waiting on it. Like, you had that dumb idiot. And I'm kind of pissed at The View also. Like, I love y'all. I love the ladies of The View. I know that's like a show for like housewives and stuff. I don't care. I love The View. I watch it every day on YouTube. I don't watch it when it comes on TV because I don't have the time. I'm not around when it's on, but I do catch the episodes on YouTube and stuff. But I'm pissed at them because they didn't go in as hard as they should have on 50 Cent. Now, 50 Cent went on their show and was talking about, or should I call him Miss Jackson, went on their show and talked about his comments that he made about Terry Crews, and Terry Crews being sexually assaulted by a producer by the name of Adam Bennett. Now, when he went on, he was talking about this, that, and the third. 50 talking about, I would have punched him. You don't know what you did. First of all, I don't even believe 50 Cent would mind if a man touched him inappropriately, because I've heard stories about you, and the way you move in this industry is real gay. And I'm not talking about in a way of like homosexuality, you fucking whatever. I just feel like you're an opportunist, and you're a closeted homosexual. And I don't like people like you. You're very much a snake, and you're an instigator. And for him to try to backpedal on this show, and people talk about making excuses for him, kind of bothered me too. Like, a lot of the fans in the comments section, they were making excuses for him. But my thing is, you pretty much shamed Terry Crews for coming out and said, I was just going based off of the guy. He's this big black guy, and this and the other. And it's like, for someone who was born and raised in Jamaica, Queens, you really are not the brightest. You really aren't, because for you to not think that someone of your stature, where you're a black man in America, and you thinking that you could just walk up in somewhere in Hollywood and a white guy who has way more power than you, who is a producer, who is friends with the likes of Brett Ratner and Russell Simmons, that some white producer can grab me by my genitals and I can just react by punching him in the face and thinking that I'm going to still have a career after that. You're about as clueless as that dumb tight ass show Power. Like, I don't even get, I'm probably in the minority with this, but I feel that Power is overrated. I know a lot of people love that show. I know a lot of people live for Power. I feel that Power, in my opinion, is overrated. Like, I like Sons of Anarchy. I'm looking forward to that show Mayans that's coming out. That's a spinoff of Sons of Anarchy. Like, I like stuff like that. But Power is just like, y'all talk so much about that goddamn show. I just feel like it's just not a show that I'm so, like, I've watched the show. I've watched an episode and I'm like, so this is what everybody's so excited. I think maybe it's because of the hype of the show has pretty much like made me not so excited about it. But like I said, Power is not, it's just, to me, it's overrated. But for 50 Cent to go in on Terry Crews, I just felt like it was just a bitch-ass move on his part. But anyway, so to talk about the next group of people who have come out for sexual assault, there are two models that have accused legendary fashion photographer Rick Day of sexual assault. Now, we've had other sexual assault accusations that have come out. What was it, a couple of months ago? I'm trying to see if the names pop up. So anyway, I don't know. It'll probably come up as I'm talking because I can't think of the names. But anyway, so two models by the name of Barrett Paul and Kyle, is it Kai or Kyle? I can't even see it. Braden both claim they were groomed and sexually assaulted by the photographer whose glossy fashion spreads have been published in Elle, Vogue, Italia, and GQ when they were teenagers. Paul alleges that Day first reached out to him in November 2007 via the online platform Model Mayhem. He says that he was interested in shooting him for a coffee table book. In the message, which the advocate obtained obtained a screenshot of Day, assured Paul that he was not looking for a hookup, but I find you very cute and would love to shoot a hot, sexy shoot of you. He's a good-looking guy, by the way. If you want to see his photos, you can basically go check him out on Instagram. Barrett Paul is BarrettPall. And I think he's tall. He has a tall, statuesque model look. But he's a good-looking guy. Paula was 19 at the time, says he first met Day for a shoot, which was held at Day's apartment. It was just the two of them, while there he claims Day got handsy and eventually performed an unwanted sex act on him. So according to the advocate, Day got on his knees, pulled out Paul's semi-erect I'm not going to go there. They're going to be like, well, if you were excited, so maybe you wanted it, which is not true. Because a lot of times when your body can be confused, any kind of arousement, and he's 19, the wind blows and your dick gets hard. So I'm not even going to go there and say, well, maybe, because it's not true at all. Like, there are times where, yes, the wind can blow on your dick and all of a sudden your heart is a damn rock. So anyway, according to reports, Day got on his knees, pulled out Paul's semi-erect dick from his underwear, and began masturbating him. Paul says he was stunned and frozen, but felt pressure to pretend he was okay with it in order to get through and obtain the photos. Paul tells the Advocate he was a virgin, and that act was the first time he'd done anything sexual with a man, an experience he says was robbed from him. Day allegedly told Paul, see, I messed up with that, to ejaculate on his face, and when he was finished, he offered Paul a shower to clean off. The shoot, which Paul says seemed to go on forever, was finally over. So, he said he arrived at the shoot to learn it was just the two of them. There were no other assistants, makeup artists, or anyone else around. In the middle of a shoot, Paul alleges Day pinned him to a wall with his hands around my neck and his mouth to ear and whispered it was okay, that I should just relax. So, he also says that I remember he asked if I had ever had sex with a guy before, and I told him that I had never had sex, period. The model says Day, whose fingers were on Braden's anus, seemed to ease off when I told him that. Braden claims, this is the other model, by the way, that I should talk about, that the second model that came out. So, because I did skip ahead. He's pretty good. Both of these. Kai Braden basically says that this is his story of what happened. So Braden says he was pinned to the wall for at least 2 minutes until he eventually pushed the photographer off. He seems to have gotten the picture and were wrapped up the shoot. He also says he tried to get out of there as quick as he could to keep his cool. Afterwards, Braden told his agents what had happened. He says that he replied by saying, yeah, we know. Rick is like that with guy models, but he takes great pictures. See, now this is where I have a problem. Day since then has declined to comment on the story, by the way, I should say that. But this is the part that pisses me off about this, and this has been happening way too much in this industry in regards to this whole Me Too thing. Yeah, Me Too happens not only with women, but it happens with men as well. And the unfortunate situation of it is that we have situations where men are being sexually assaulted, women are being sexually assaulted, and the response from the people in the industry who work behind the scenes, the first thing they're quick to say is, yeah, we know how he is. Yeah, he does this and that. Yeah, he touches people inappropriately. Yeah, he likes to blow his models. Yeah, he has his fetishes and his vices or whatever the case is. But he's an amazing artist. Yeah, he takes great photos. Yes, he shoots really good films. Yes, he makes good music. So it's like, at what point are we going to be like, you know what? This is wrong, and we should not be tolerating shit like this. I just find it appalling that there are so many people who work behind the scenes that sit idly by and look the other way because what's more important to them is a check in their own fucking pocket than it is the well-being of these models, actors, musicians, whatever type of profession you're taking on in the entertainment industry. Like, at what point are you going to stand up for these people and be like, you know what, this shit ain't right? But me being but then on the flip side, me being the only one that stands up could also cost me a job, could also get me blacklisted. And so it's a catch-22. You don't know where to turn. You don't know what to do. So I'll keep you guys posted on this whole situation. It's unfortunate, but I'm just waiting for the day when people in hip-hop get accused of sexual assault. So now another person that's being accused of sexual assault is none other than Blackish's own Anthony Anderson. This story came out yesterday, and I gagged when I saw this one. So according to the Blast, sources familiar with the situation says that a woman who was accusing him of sexual assault met with Anderson a second time after an event she catered for him to discuss any future business opportunities when the assault occurred. She later filed a police report with the Hollywood division of the LAPD. So according to TMZ, a woman filed a police report with LAPD claiming the Blackish actor assaulted her months ago. We've confirmed Anderson is listed as the suspect on the police report. A rep for Anderson has told TMZ, "It's unfortunate that anyone can file a police report, whether it is true or false," adding the authorities have not contacted Anthony or any of his representatives about the matter. Anthony unequivocally disputes the claim. Should also point out, this ain't the first time Anthony's faced accusations of assault. He and an assistant director were accused of raping an extra on the set of 2004's Hustle and Flow, but the charges were later dropped because the testimony didn't prove probable cause. I don't know. I have to keep you guys updated on this because this is relatively a new story. And I haven't heard really much of anything about it other than what I'm just telling you now. So speaking of the king of sexual assaults, let's talk about R. Kelly. So now his ex-wife, who I have been living for, Drea, I liked her on, Hollywood Divas, when she was on that show on VH1, on Hollywood Wives. I forget the name of the show because, there's been so many reality shows, I can never keep up with them. But one of the people that stood out for me on that show, I lived for her. I lived for Cherie, which was Will Smith's first wife. And I loved, Nicole Murphy, who was Eddie Murphy's first wife, but they weren't on there. But Drea was always the one that stood out for me the most because she always had a funny one-liner, but I had no idea what all this stuff is. Because I always wondered, and I probably talked about this on the show before, that when it's come to situations of R. Kelly being accused of sexual assault over the years, how has she dealt with a lot of the situations? Like, was she ever assaulted? Did she ever see anything? And there was an episode of the Sister Circle that she did last month, I believe, where she talked about her experience with R. Kelly and how she almost thought about committing suicide. So it's a whole thing. It's up there. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Sister Circle. I think it's on YouTube or it might be on Facebook, wherever. Just look it up and watch the video and you'll see how she basically opened up about it. And she's done other interviews about it since then. So she's speaking out against people who have been victim shaming. So, she basically said, I'm thinking to myself, I'm not that girl. I'm not the teeth missing, broken bone girl. This is what she said on Sister Circle, by the way. She was like, but God said, keep scrolling. So I kept scrolling. At the end of the Domestic Violence Awareness website, there was a questionnaire. She said she took the questionnaire and when she took the questionnaire, she was like, she checked 17 boxes. Out of the 17 boxes, 15 of them were what she had experienced with R. Kelly. So since then, she says people have been accusing her of lying. See, I bet you this is black women. Yeah, I fucking said it because I've noticed a lot of black women will sit and defend this motherfucker. Y'all about as worse as or just as bad as the Trump cultists, where y'all will literally defend this man regardless of how much evidence is presented to you. And there have been many receipts, but y'all still believe what y'all want to fucking believe. But anyway, so they basically have called her a liar, and she's finally fed up, and this is what she said. She was like, you trolls passed judgment and said that I never spoke of it before, but clearly you have not been following me or my journey. If you look on my Instagram, you see where I have posted several times about being a survivor of domestic violence. Just because your curiosity wasn't satisfied doesn't mean my horror wasn't real. Like, for real, fuck you and him. To my hashtag survivors, I love you all and we got this. To the ones still in it, you are not alone. You will get away. I did. So, R. Kelly's been accused of running a sex cult. A lot of the stuff that was happening with the girl Joycelyn Brown, I believe is what her name is. And her family, who wound up going on, I believe, the Sister Circle as well. And Drea sat with them and talked with them, and she was saying, like, a lot of what this girl has gone through, what their daughter was going through, is what she dealt with. How she was cut off from her family. He likes to cut you off from your people in your life and try to behold you to his bullshit and keep you constrained to him because he wants to mentally. And I don't know if she said it wasn't like a lot of physical abuse where she was beat up and stuff. But what R. Kelly is very much good at is he's very good at mental abuse, which is he will manipulate you and lie to you and tell you all kinds of shit to keep you beholden to him in so many ways. So for people to sit and discredit him like, well, I don't believe you. Like, first of all, motherfucker, I was married to the man. So if anybody knows how that man was, and I gave birth to, how many kids did she have? Was it like 3 or 4 kids with him? if I pushed out all of his motherfucking kids and I was married to him, don't you think I know him better than you think you know him? Like, you only know him from the music you listen to and see him in concert and interviews. You don't know this man because you never laid up in bed with him. So how you going to tell someone who's laid up with this man and knew him before he was the R. Kelly that he is today? How you going to tell somebody's story is a lie? Who are you? Fuck you. I'd be like, fuck you and the horse you rode in on, you dumb bitch. But anyway, that's just me. But anyway, so another abuse situation that's coming out now is Tiffany Haddish. So she's accused of, I didn't even know she was married, number one. Or maybe I did know, but I forgot. But she was like, her ex-husband is basically suing her over abuse allegations and claiming that the only time that there was abuse in their relationship was when he choked her during sex. So her ex-husband, who's named William Stewart, is basically suing Tiffany Haddish, as well as Simon & Schuster, the publisher of her memoir, over the chapter alleging that he abused and stalked her during their marriage. She never mentioned him by name, but they got married and divorced twice. But I guess when you read the fine print, you pretty much put two and two together if you did your homework. So according to page 6, Stewart claimed in his suit that he sent Haddish, who was 38, and Simon & Schuster multiple letters to resolve the harmful and defamatory assertions in the chapter, which is called The Ex-Husband, before filing the suit. He claims that Haddish replied, "Be patient, your blessings are coming, and start to think positive so positive things can come your way, because your blessings are waiting for you." He also claimed in the suit that the restraining order she received during their marriage was dropped after she recanted the allegations and pled with law enforcement to dismiss the TRO because it was untrue. In fact, she confessed to attacking Mr. Stewart. He also said that she told Dom Herrera in a 2012 interview that Stewart never beat her, but he just choked her a little bit. Stewart claims that he can prove that she regularly requested Mrs. Stewart to become more aggressive with her during sex, including, among other things, to choke her as a part of the sexual intercourse. He's basically seeking over $1 million in defamation, libel, and slander. Well, we'll see if you get that money. And I don't know what to say on that, but it's quite entertaining. We'll see if you get the money, and I'll keep you guys posted on it. So, Sherri Shepherd went on, what was that damn show? The Breakfast Club with Angela Yee and Charlamagne Tha God. DJ Envy wasn't on there, but I thought her interview was relatively entertaining. I have a love-hate relationship with Sherri. I'm not going to go into a whole spiel on why, but I have a love-hate relationship with Sherri Shepherd. Now, one of the things that I did find her thoroughly entertaining throughout the whole Breakfast Club interview, but people are roasting her because of a comment that she made about her son Jeffrey. Now, she basically said in the interview that Jeffrey doesn't like black girls and he only likes white girls, and that sort of, and she was asking if Charlamagne, if she had any advice over, what about the whole situation. She said, "I'm going through this thing. He likes these girls, and there's not that many little black girls in his school because he came in and he said, 'Mommy, I like white girls.' The little black girls get mean with him," she said. Her son is 13, by the way. Sometimes they don't want to speak. Sometimes they act crazy. And he's like, "Why they act so crazy?" And I'm like, "I don't know." So I just keep trying to tell the little girls to be nicer so he can come toward you. Mm-hmm. But the other girls see him and they go, "Hey, Jeffrey," and they just want to feel his hair. So, I don't know why people are upset with her over saying that. See, I think what it is that we get a lot of and I've been noticing this lately, especially through my social media. I have a lot of black folk, gay men, and black women who are just pissed if any black guy looks at a white girl or gravitates to a white girl. And I think their pissed offness is valid to a point, just a smidge. And I say this because I think a lot of people are just upset because they feel that in this industry, what they see in media, that every time a black guy gets to a certain point in his career, the first thing he does is gravitate towards the white women, and they think that by aligning themselves with a white woman is going to upgrade them in some sort of way. Now, I ain't gonna say all of them like that because they went in on Michael B. Jordan. Like, Michael B. Jordan's had this thing plaguing him over the years where he's been kind of dismissed by a lot of black men because they feel like he only goes for white girls. And I don't know where this comes from. I don't know why people all of a sudden, I guess because y'all look at certain pictures and you created this narrative in your head in regards of what you think Michael B. Jordan is about. But there have been situations where, I don't know what his dating status is. I don't follow people, their personal lives in that way. To each his own. I deal with my own shit. I know what I like. I know who I go for. I love all men, all aspects of the spectrum. If you're respectful and you're attractive, you got a nice body, you're smart and you're funny and all those other things, I'll gravitate towards you. I'm an equal opportunity offender. I don't discriminate when it comes to who I sleep with, but I'm not just going to fuck anybody. But I don't sit and discriminate. But I don't understand people who just like to align themselves with one race or think that one race is going to upgrade them in some sort of way. But I know people just getting their feelings about this sort of thing, and it's unfortunate. But I don't know. I just feel like maybe what she needs to do to wrap this topic up is maybe she needs to surround herself and Jeffree with people of color. Maybe what it is that she's got a lot of money. She's in Hollywood. So maybe, I don't know if Jeffree's more than likely he's in a private school. So if you're in private school, you're not going to see a lot of black kids in a private school because a lot of people don't have that kind of money to put to encourage that type of diversity. And depending on the location in which she lives, she probably doesn't have, he probably doesn't have a lot of black friends and that sort of thing. So maybe what she needs to do is get him involved in certain things where he could be around like-minded individuals, around a lot of young black girls, maybe get him into like the PAL or get him in like a lot of public stuff where there could be like, I don't know, maybe he just needs to be around a lot of people. Because I don't know, first of all, she's got 2 horrible ex-husbands. Like that first husband is a mess. Sal's an even bigger fucking mess. And she's got to pay child support for the other kid. Okay, so really quick, I want to round these all because I know we got to go into a commercial break. We're coming down to the final hour. We're coming up to the next hour. But Beyonce, they're talking about word on the street is she's working on her solo album and then she's got her sights set on Netflix to release her next visual album. So a major British publication, this is from That Grape Juice, shout out to them, by the way. But a major British publication is reporting that Bey, now more determined than ever to use her platform to tell compelling stories, is in talks with Netflix to unleash a ground-shattering new visual album. A source close to the singer is saying that Beyonce has been hard at work on her next solo album and is shaping up well. She wants it to be even more groundbreaking and visually impressive than Lemonade, which is why she's scouting out locations which will really wow people. That's probably what I was hearing. Like, there was a story about her wanting to shoot at another, like a museum or a coliseum or something. I was reading about that, but I actually thought that was for the Carter's album that she's doing. Maybe we're not going to get another album release or video release from that. I think Ape Shit is probably going to be the only video we get. I already gave my opinions on that album when I talked about the MTV Video Music Award nominations on my YouTube video. That's up on my YouTube channel, Kris Avalon. Look it up. It should pop up. And I gave my opinion on that when I gave like the list of nominations. I wasn't really a fan of the Carter's album because I don't want to be hearing Beyonce rapping. I think Jay-Z should be doing the rapping and Beyonce should be doing the singing. And Beyonce should not be trying to act like she's a trap queen. So basically her team is negotiating with Netflix to premiere the project. So I think it'd be cool if she did something like that. I just want something different from Beyonce. We've already gotten 2 visual albums from her. It's cute and all. I did hear that Rihanna's also working on a new album of dancehall music. I'm here for that because I've always said that Rihanna's Millhouse should have always been dancehall and that whole and reggae and stuff because that's definitely, it's authentic from her. I don't get it from Drake. Drake seemed like he was just trying too hard to be a part of that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the new Beyonce album. Hopefully it's something original and different. I'm tired of hearing the same shit. I'm looking forward to the Rihanna dancehall record. Also, really quick, Shonda Rhimes has 8 shows, a whopping 8 shows coming to Netflix. Where it's they don't even have names. It's a whole lot of stuff. If you go on B. Scott's website, they have the list of original shows. There's an Untitled Bridgerton project, A Warmth of Other Suns. That's what's called. It's based off the Pulitzer Prize winning author Isabel Wilkerson's award-winning book. Pico and Sepulveda, which is set in 1840s against the surreal and sensual backdrop of the then Mexican state of California. There's a show called Reset: My Fight for Inclusion and Lasting Change. There's a show called The Residents. She got so many goddamn shows. 8 shows. Sunshine Scouts, Hot Chocolate Nutcracker. So Shonda's definitely working. I don't know what's going to happen with Grey's Anatomy, if she's going to be paying attention to that, but we shall see. Also, there's a Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot coming, with Joss Whedon on board as executive producer. But I should point out that Buffy it's not going to be with Sarah Michelle Gellar, even though I live for her. Buffy's going to be black, y'all. Yeah, they done changed her race. So we're getting a Buffy the Vampire Slayer reboot with a black girl. I know I saw people online getting upset over it, but I'm like, you know what? I'm here for it. And if they basically make Sunnydale like an urban setting, I think it'd be even more cooler. Like, make it in like apartment complexes and make it a little more urban and hood. And you got this young black girl who's like in an urban setting fighting vampires. I think that would be awesome. Like, that would be the story that I would want to see if we're gonna do Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Switch it up wholeheartedly. Don't make it like, make her like she's a young teenage girl, her and her mother, single mother, moving into the hood or something like that after some shit happened, father dies, and she moves in with maybe like single mother moving in to take care of her mother or something like that, and have Buffy sort of like in an urban setting in the projects or something like, or an apartment. It don't even have to be the project. It could be an apartment complex, but make it an urban setting and then have it more. I think that would be really cool. That's what I'm looking for. If that's not what y'all doing, is what you should be doing. Just kind of make it more relatable to an urban setting. And yeah, so we're gonna go now. I will be back online. I gotta cut the feed. We're into an hour. I got new music from, oh my God, from Blonde featuring Bryn Christopher, Me, Myself, and I. Yes, he's an out artist. Living for him. I did want to play something else, but at the last minute, I changed the music. I want to play Kris Avalon with Ariana Grande. I live for that song, Dance for You. So those are the songs we're going to play. When we come back, I got the last hour, we're going to probably do a quick roundup of other stuff. Like, highest paid female artist of 2018, according to Billboard. Wiz Khalifa talking about straight men shouldn't eat bananas. And then I got a whole bunch of LGBT news. Like Cher working on a new album. Kathy Griffin is detailing her fight with Ellen DeGeneres over Joan Rivers. Who, post season 2, there's an actor, Ryan Jamal Swain, who wants a mega superstar to appear on the second season of Pose. I'll tell you who that is and my opinions on that, as well as a couple of artists who are coming out of the closet, including Paris Jackson, Jason Mraz, and Harry Styles. 4 actors who turned down Brokeback Mountain. I got the list of those. And I want to talk a little bit about the rub and tug thing with Scarlett Johansson, give my reviews on that, and a whole lot more LGBT news, including Puerto Rico and a good thing they're doing with trans folk. So I got that and a whole lot more, so don't go away. We'll be right back with more of the Kris Avalon Show. Okay, guys, I'll be back playing music. Love you all. I'll be back later. Thank you for watching.